Welcome to the MTSS Engagement Team Training on Feedback for Acceleration. This training was developed for Strand 4 of the acceleration work that focuses on feedback and demonstrations of learning. If you're interested in accessing the slide deck for this presentation, the bit.ly is bit.ly/feedback4acceleration. The work of the MTSS engagement team focuses on 6 instructional toolkits. For more information, go to our engagement team website. You can access the link on this slide. The high-yield practice of feedback, as defined by formative assessment, is an acceleration component. The feedback component aligns with systems 1 and 3 and all 3 pillars. Feedback through the lens of a formative assessment is a part of just-in-time support. Just-in-time support aligns with systems 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and all 3 pillars. One of the cornerstones of our toolkit work is increased student engagement. Research identifies 5 different levels of engagement, which focuses on students' attention and commitment to the task or content, and we've shared them here. Teachers often have students who fall in the ritual compliance or strategic compliance levels. They pay attention some or most of the time, but tend not to be fully committed or engaged in the lesson or task and are more concerned with the results or grades. When students are immersed in the work and activities with personal meaning and value, teachers are more likely to have authentic engagement. Students will go through the productive struggle when faced with difficulty and are more likely to learn at high levels. Through the use of high-yield instructional practices, like the ones included in the MTSS toolkits, teachers can successfully get more students to the highest level of engagement. Feedback refers to a teacher's indication to a student whether a behavior, action, skill was demonstrated correctly. A crucial point is, and we will discuss this more, feedback, at least quality feedback, should cause thinking, reflection, and action. The key is in both the frequency and ratio of positive to negative feedback, no matter the content of it. Part of Strand 4 includes a demonstration of learning rubric, and this is your demonstrated competency or success criteria. Teachers strategically strengthen student achievement by designing instruction that uses a continual feedback loop requiring student-teacher collaboration. Now, thinking about the feedback definition that we reviewed, look at this photo. We are taking that definition and adding formative with it. This addition expands the purpose, and this photo is a good way to represent it. True formative feedback starts with where students are. Keeping the desired goal in mind, our feedback should be just what they need to help them close the gap, or in this case, get to the other side successfully. We don't build the bridge for them or tell them to turn around and leave. We help them get to where they need to be. Formative feedback is an ongoing process that both teachers and students engage in when they focus on using their current learning goals. It is when teachers adjust their instruction based on what could be a variety of products, and in turn, students adjust their learning practice as they move closer to their goals. I'm going to read this quote from John Hattie. Seeing feedback as a teaching opportunity can help shift the teaching perspective from correction to collaboration, from merely fixing students' work to moving students forward in their learning. Thinking about what we have covered thus far, as well as what Dr. Hattie is saying here, does your feedback correct or build collaboration? Is it meant to fix or move learning forward? Keep this in mind as we introduce the feedback loop. A feedback loop is a process that aims to move learning forward through feedback. This feedback loop should happen frequently. in all subject areas. There are many ways to structure this, but an example for use for acceleration purposes would be as described in this visual. It begins with a shared understanding of learning goals between the student and teacher. Feedback then will cycle between the teacher and student while focusing on the product of formative assessments, progress of learning, and the process of learning. The feedback loop requires that students are taught the skills necessary to receive and accept feedback. The roles would include self-monitoring, reflection on the learning process, analyzing evidence of thinking, and understanding. The benefits of having students involved in the feedback loop include providing students with tools to take control of their own learning, enable students to be actively involved in monitoring and regulating their own performance, can reduce uncertainty about their performance, and can help correct misconceptions or inappropriate task strategies, and leads to higher motivation and more efficient task strategies. The teacher's role in the feedback loop includes collecting and analyzing evidence of student learning, adjusting instructional strategy based on evidence, and analyzing evidence of thinking and understanding. The benefits to this process would be it makes learning barriers visible to the teacher, provides evidence of students' current level of performance, and allows the teacher to adjust their level of instruction to fit with the student's current level of learning. Now that you've learned about the student and teacher roles and benefits, this slide showcases how it all ties together. The feedback loop allows for acceleration opportunities as you instantly ingest instruction. It relies on the continuous communication between the student and teacher. Let's look at the characteristics of effective feedback and how it relates to the feedback loop. Goal-directed connects to student intentions. Understandable connects to success criteria and/or rubric. Timely provides for opportunity to act or self-adjust, both the student and the teacher. Specific feedback elaborates on what was done well and on what the next focus should be. Collaborative allows for dialogue between the teacher and student. Here are some points to remember when planning for the feedback loop. Give only enough information to initiate new thinking. Remove uncertainties or clarify objectives. Plan for multiple points of formative feedback and differentiate the feedback. Explore the potential of multiple modes of feedback, including written, verbal, graphic, and electronic means such as video. Plan for engaging formative feedback opportunities. We have listed some engagement strategies that will allow you to activate the feedback loop. In order for the feedback loop to be successful, students should be engaged in the process. In conclusion, take a moment to reflect on the feedback that you provide to your students. Does it relate to learning intentions and success criteria? Is it positive, and do students have time to act on it? Does it identify student success and prompt thinking? Does the feedback make the learning more visible for both the teacher and student? Does it provide students a platform to initiate feedback? And does it praise the work rather than the student? The MTSS engagement team has 5 additional high-yield instructional practice trainings for acceleration. They include learning intentions and success criteria with scaffolding, goal setting and student expectations, reciprocal teaching for acceleration, opportunities to respond for acceleration, and student-teacher relationships. You can access the training by clicking on the hashtag linked above each title. Here we have provided you with some of the resources that were used throughout this presentation. If you would like more information about the MTSS toolkits and other high-yield practices, please visit our department website. Thank you for attending our session about feedback for acceleration.